Hey guys, welcome back to another TV show review. So I just got done watching Peacemaker Season 2, and this is my spoiler review. Now before I start talking about this season, let me go ahead and say this first. I am a massive fan of Peacemaker Season 1. I think it's one of the greatest comic book shows ever made, and I think it's easily the best show James Gunn has ever made. But when I heard that Peacemaker Season 2 was happening, I was pretty excited, and I was also excited to hear that it was going to be a part of the new DCU. But now that I just finished watching season 2, guys, I hate to say this because I am a massive fan of James Gunn. I think he's a great director, and I think most of his projects are great. But in the case of Peacemaker season 2, the gun has unfortunately jammed. I think this season is not only a downgrade from season 1, but I think this might be one of, if not the weakest comic book project James Gunn has ever made. But that doesn't mean it's bad because I did have some fun with this. There are some things I want to say about this season, so let's break down the best and worst parts of the season. The first positive for this season is the acting. John Cena gives a great performance as Christopher Smith, aka Peacemaker. He is so good in this season, just like how he was in season 1, and he just proves to us that he is a versatile actor with a lot of range. And it's not just Peacemaker, because I think the other side characters like Adebayo, Vigilante, Hardcore, and Economos were great as well, and the actors do such a great job. Another positive for this season is the action. The action sequences in this season were bloody, brutal, and raw as heck, just like in season 1, and I honestly enjoyed every second of it. Another positive for this season is the humor. I thought this season had some pretty good humor for the most part, and while some of the jokes may feel forced at times, I thought some of them had me genuinely dying of laughter in all the right ways. And the final positive for this season is the emotion. This season had some emotional moments that really hit me in the feels, and James Gunn, like always, does a great job at getting me to care about these Z-list, lesser-known DC characters. Now on to the negatives. The first negative for this season is the pacing. I don't think it's a hot take to say that this season suffers from a pacing problem because, dude, I don't really like the fact how most of the episodes in this season are over 35 to 40 minutes long, and they barely left any room for any of our other main side characters to go on their own arcs or stories like they did in season 1. Another negative for this season is the relationship between Chris and Hardcore. I don't know about y'all, but I am personally not a fan of the Chris and Harcourt relationship, and I thought it was a relationship that felt so forced. Another negative for this season is the character assassination of Rick Flag Sr. The way they did Rick Flag Sr. in this season was so dirty because you mean to tell me that this man went from working with metahumans in Creature Commandos to protecting metahumans in Superman and now to sleeping with metahumans and trapping metahumans in another dimension in this season? What are we talking about? And don't even get me started on the fact that Rick Flag Sr. is now a supervillain. He's working with Lex Luthor, and he's celebrating while he is watching all of his employees die. Like, I'm sorry, but Rick Flag Jr. did not die for this character. I want him gone immediately. And the final negative for this season is the finale. I think we can all agree that the finale was very underwhelming, and you can just tell that they only made it just to set up the future of the DCU. The finale was also a musical, and you can just tell that James Gunn made this just so he can add in a bunch of needle drops from his playlist. This season also ends on so many cliffhangers, and we don't know when or if they'll ever get resolved. For example, Keith is still alive on Earth X, and he wants to avenge both his dad and brother, but we have no idea if that will ever get resolved. Peacemaker, the 11th Street Kids, Flurry, Judo Master, and Sasha Bordeaux run a company called Checkmate together out of nowhere. Peacemaker then gets kidnapped by Argus, and Rick Flag Sr. traps him in the Salvation World. I felt like that was such a weird and abrupt way to end the season finale, and I know it's supposed to set up Man of Tomorrow, which is the upcoming Superman sequel coming out in 2027, but I felt like they could have ended this season in a better way instead of just leaving us on a cliffhanger. Overall, I had a fun time with this season, and I thought it was pretty enjoyable for the most part, but it is a downgrade from season 1, and it might be one of, if not the weakest comic book project James Gunn has made, because the gun has unfortunately jammed, and the rating I would give for this is a solid 6 out of 10. But anyways, yeah, that's my review of Peacemaker Season 2, and thank you for watching. If you want to see more reviews like this, follow me for more. Peace out.